Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today from Asus Rogue 2020, the online tournament, because of the current situation in the world, it's going to be ShoWTimE versus Serral. Bottom right-hand corner, we have the Blue Zerg player Serral, and in the top left, we have ShoWTimE, the German Protoss. Serral is Finnish, from the country of Finland. I'm pretty sure you already knew that, but just to make sure, it's going to be on a Lightshade. It hasn't been a CVP lately, has it? Yesterday, I cast a best of 5 between Morrow and Hearthstone. It was really incredible stuff. If you ever want to see carriers used against Terran, I think that's the only chance you're going to get here in 2020. Hearthstone is a madman with a very excellent YouTube channel. Alright, so here we go. Gateway expand here. And Serral says, you're blocking off my natural? Whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and take my natural down here. I don't really care where my natural is because you're not going to be able to punish it anyway. Alright, man. This is pretty much the best EU has to offer for a ZVP. I think ShoWTimE is the best Protoss player in the European Union, or the European region anyway. And I think Serral is still the best Zerg player there, but Raynor is giving him a run for his money, I can tell you that. So Overlord scouting, 1 gate expand into Cyber Core, into second gas, into second pylon. ShoWTimE has done this pretty much, I want to say about 300 million times. So the Probe Scout here just playing a little bit of an APM game here, just trying to mess up the drone mining pattern, but I don't know. Serral also has done this 300 million times. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, where are we today with this ZVP here on Lightshade, the Ladder Edition? Very interested to see where these players are going to go against each other. ShoWTimE's had a bit of a rough 2020. I don't expect the world from him, but I don't know, ZVP is a matchup that's been a little bit better towards Zerg recently. Also TVZ, actually. For some reason, Zergs are struggling a bit in the latter half of 2020. I don't know what it is. Like, Rogue's still having a pretty good time, but Terrans seem to be winning Premier tournaments more often than they're losing them for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just Beyond is back. Morrow's playing really well. TY's having a great year, too. Like, the 4 Horsemen are kind of killing it. Innovation hasn't won a Premier tournament yet. I don't really necessarily expect him to either, but hey, the year's not over yet. We're still going to have a couple more Premier tournaments before the year is up, and Innovation still has time to start his stuff. But this is a game about ShoWTimE and Serral. So Zergling comes in, sees there's no 3rd or 4th gas, which is interesting information, which this early, it could be a charge lot all-in. Man, especially with the Twilight Council and the Robo and no 3rd and 4th gas. I haven't seen this really attempted in some time, it feels like. Oh, Resonating Glaives. Okay, so not Charge Lot, but just Adept all in. Fair enough. Adept Printer Go Burr indeed. Somebody the other day was like, hey, Falcon, your Adept Printer Go Burr meme went viral. And I'm like, that was not me. I believe actually Hearthstone came up with that one out on Twitter. It definitely spread, went viral. I think it's hilarious. I used it apparently without properly attributing it to Hearthstone. But yeah, Adept Printer Go Burr build is on the way. That's going to be a Warp Prism. And again, seeing no 3rd and 4th gas is really indicative of a 2-base all-in of some kind. So, well, now he takes the 3rd and the 4th gas. But yeah, that's a Warp Prism. These are the gateways. Additional gateways will be coming up soon here in ShoWTimE's base. Ling's just trying to make sure no attacks are coming when he's not ready for them. And Serral just pretty much droning up pretty hard here. He does have a Roach Warren because he recognizes it's going to be Zealots or it's going to be Adepts. Roaches are going to be really good against both of those things. So Roach Warren perhaps earlier than he would normally want to, but having Roaches in this situation is very nice. It is much better than just trying to hold this with Queens and Lings, whichever aspect of the build this is. So Adepts are out. Actually going to a Robotics Bay. Is he going to maybe tech into Disruptors after this? Maybe Colossus? Either of those would be pretty good if you're forcing your opponent into Roaches. You supply blocked ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE, for shame. You can't be supply blocked in this match. How dare you? Alright, well, it's all good anyway. 3rd base there. Resonating Glaives completed. Warp Prism. Wow, actually going to come into the main base for the Warpin'? This is not a great place to be. There's a lot of Lings. Queen's marching up this way too. Warpers, I'm not quite sure where to go with this match. Additional spores in production. A bunch of Lings are here. The Lings are here to help the Ravagers and the Roaches take these suckers down. And here is the first wave of adapts shading in. Ooh, juking to the third base. And, oh, canceling the shade. I thought for sure he was going to finish that, but there were a lot of Ravagers and Lings right on top. So, so ShoWTimE doesn't actually even kill anything. Of course, well, I guess maybe some Lings have died, but I don't think that was the Adepts. Just goes, pulls back, takes a third base, says, I'm actually much better in a defensive position here. Oh, these poor Adepts, though. But that's what you get for hanging out, doing nothing in the middle of the map. You all die. That is such, oh, that's a bummer. It's a bummer for ShoWTimE. Serral's got a bunch of Lings, though. He'd rather have drones. Actually on even worker count right now for ShoWTimE, compared to ShoWTimE, which, not really where you want to be. It is Disruptors, and it is Warp Prism's speed, interestingly enough. So the Lings shouldn't be able to do anything. If they want to maybe come up to the third base, additional units warping in here. Sentries, actually, for force fields maybe against these Lings. This is, again, fairly exposed, but the Adepts are in a position to cover both the third base and the natural base pretty effectively. So, I mean, yeah, just get on out. These Lings not really finding anything to do, but I think Serral's okay with that. He's been droning pretty hard back home. He is up to 55 workers right now. Income is favoring him just a teeny tiny bit, but it is trending down to his way of things as he is on 3 bases and ShoWTimE is on 2. Actually going for Roach speed. So he is kind of committing to this Roach stuff a little bit. Warp Prism. Oh, are we going to Disruptor drop? We haven't not seen Disruptor. Oh my gosh. Okay, 14 drones down, just like that. Bam! Fairly well, drones. Serral did not see that coming by any stretch of the imagination. None. 14 drones down, and now he's down to 53 workers, just like that. He wanted to be at 60 or 70 by now. Look at that. Look how the income just shoots right back up to ShoWTimE's side of the map. Just quick as a wink. Little Disruptor drop action against Zerg. Who does that? ShoWTimE does. That's who. All right. He's got a little bit more swagger in his step here. 4th base coming in from Serral. He's working on Baneling speed. Well, and +5 health, but I don't know anyone's really brought that up recently. It's just mostly the speed. Okay. Ow! Ow! Okay, Disruptors stay alive. They get a shot on a Queen, but Transfuse gets her out of that danger zone pretty quickly. Danger zone! Ah, when Archer was good. I miss when Archer was good. I should rewatch Archer sometime. Too much good media on Earth, everybody. There's not enough time to watch it all and rewatch the good stuff and also cast StarCraft and also have a full-time job and also spend time with your children. It's a lot to ask the Falcon the world has these days. All right, man. So the creep spread's kind of getting out of control. Like, despite the really nice drone attack here and the 14 drones killed, Serral's already up to 72 workers again. The creep spread is intimidating. This is, I mean, this is Scarlet level creep spread right now. Serral is good at creep spread, but it's not always this thorough and this fast about it. Lightshade is a fairly small-ish map, so it makes sense to maybe focus on it a little bit more compared to a huge map like maybe Dathara would be. But just pushing out. It's a bit of a weird setup. Adept Stalkers, 2 Colossus, and Ravager Bane. This is where force fields are important here. Ravager Bane can beat this if the Banelings get on top of this army. Meanwhile, some Lings and Banelings made it inside the main base. What on how? He must have got dropped. Or they ran inside because the front door is wide open for ShoWTimE. God, it's a modern problem for Protoss is what it is. Modern tragedy. Alright, Serral setting up to defend here with a concave. Very nice angling. Got this all ready to go. I don't know, Roach Ravager Baneling. Here we go. How are the force fields? Good. Like, it's good enough that Serral doesn't want to engage where those force fields are. So ShoWTimE's going to pull back. Knock down some debris. Are there still Zerg? What is happening? They just must be walking in. I do not see a drop lord anywhere in that general vicinity. Alright. Well, Serral says, if you're not going to engage with me, I'm just going to continue to send Lings across the map into your front door and murder you. Hey, the front door is actually locked this time. But problematically, that gateway is going to die. Warp gate, toast. Hold the line against the invaders. And the Adepts do pretty well. Zealot's doing all right here as well. And the reinforcing unit is coming all the way back home to deal with this. Buying Serral a lot of time. I don't know about this, ShoWTimE. Oh, he's throwing up banelings inside the main base. Go kill the baneling cocoons. These are cocoons, right? Yes. Cocoons, cocoons, cocoons. And the... Okay, it takes a baneling hit, but nobody dies. That's worth it. That is a worth situation. More banelings here, too. Just kind of baning ShoWTimE to death a little bit. 4th base from ShoWTimE coming up. But, I mean, the 4th base is done for Serral, and his 5th base is already on the way, so he's continuing to stay ahead. ShoWTimE just... I mean, it's largely a Stalker Colossus army, which kind of brings me back to 2010. 2011, that was the ZVP strategy, and it was really hard for Zerg to deal with. Stock Colossus just burned everything on the ground, man. You think they're good now? They were so much better back then. And can't quite take down the Nexus. That was a huge save. A lot of Lings died for nothing. Serral sneaking down this left side, bottom-ish side of the map, but this base seems to be dead. If I have to write a eulogy for this base, I'm going to write it now. Fare thee well, base. You did a great job. All of your probes, though. Oh. Serral knows exactly how many corrosive vials. Exactly how many corrosive vials to finish that off after the baneling hits. That's crazy. So the 4th base is still alive. That's cool, but you're a 3-basing Protoss. I think you need to go, man. Army supply is more than Serral's. Yes, Serral did just lose a lot of banelings on that attack. Yes, he's making 7 more of them. He's going for a Spire. So, what the heck is this? Some Adept harass. Gonna get, you know, wow. 3 drone kills. The Lings are going to be nothing versus these Colossus and these Archons. So go for it, guys. Good luck. Disruptors. Oh, Disruptors getting on top of those banelings. That was huge. Not as many banelings crashing in here. The force skills are a little bit late. Just a tiny bit late, coming in from all sides, blinking back. Colossus microwing back. That one is still alive. Are you kidding me? He's got 0 kills and like all the red health in the world. Serral just lost this base. All right, so he's reconsolidating his powers back here, making 16 banelings and 32 Zerglings. He's still 4-basing to ShoWTimE's 3-basing, so he's going to be all right. But army supply, about 30 more here for Serral. Oh, the Disruptors out in front, not where you want to be, Disruptors. I mean, kind of a little bit want to... I can't believe this Disruptor's alive. This... Okay, it's dead. I was going to say... How... Oh, wait, the blink forward. How is ShoWTimE continuing to do stuff here? Ah, pulling drones? Oh, that's not a good sign for any Zerg player to be pulling drones like that. Corrosive Vials take down a Colossus. That's not something I've seen often at all. More banelings coming in here. The army for ShoWTimE is dwindling mightily right now. Banelings just... Banelings take down a Disruptor. Okay, how many crazy things am I seeing at the moment? It's still 17 drones down. It is 61 to 49 workers, though. Serral can afford to lose that stuff. What he can't afford to do is continue to lose these hatcheries. Oh, and Immortal's in the picture for the first time. Whoa! And ShoWTimE takes game 1 of our sneaky twofer. What? We're 1, 0. Sneaky, but sneaky twofer. Hold up. End of the game. It's okay. It's 6 roaches. Okay, it's it's 6 roaches on the army supply for Serral. I think ShoWTimE's maybe as surprised as we are there. That was something to behold. I mean, his army at the end of the game is 15 Stalkers and 2 Colossus and Immortal. I mean, it's not a terrible army. I'm not going to complain about it. But it wasn't a world-ending army, to be sure. He's at 100 total supply. He's killed 2 hatcheries effectively. Killed 37 drones. But look at this. It's still 58 to 49 workers. Serral still has a worker lead. And he's on 3 bases. His production tab is 4 roaches. But yeah, that's not going to be enough. Wow. I think Serral might have thrown away too many banelings. Like, they were good, but I'm not sure they got the value they wanted. They kept exploding on Disruptors and Colossus and stuff that they weren't necessarily a cost-efficient... it's not a cost-efficient target for them, you know what I mean? And 61 of them died here, which, again, I'm pretty sure means they died without exploding on the target that they wanted to explode on. Otherwise, there'd be a higher number here if it's just every manling that explodes, right? I think this is killed before exploding when they want to. 41 creep tumors down. Scrap. That was a scrap fest of a game 1 win there for ShoWTimE in our sneaky 2 first. So let's move on to our game 2. I don't know what map it is, but we'll check that out and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, okay? Game 2 is here on Juggernautha. It's going to be ShoWTimE in the bottom left and Serral in the top right. Bet you didn't expect ShoWTimE to beat Serral in game 1 of our sneaky 2 for, did ya? Whew. Alright, so this is a long rush distance map, so I kind of feel like it's going to be another macro game here for game number 2. Not scouting. Maybe that will come back to haunt you, Mr. Probe. Maybe throw down a gateway and then scout? Alright, fair enough. I can get on board with that maneuver for sure. Anyway, hope you're all having a wonderful Monday. It's been a good time here at the Falcon Paladin household as well, getting geared up for Christmas, buying a couple presents for the kids. Cyberpunk came out, but I need a new video card for it, and getting video cards right now is impossible, so holding off. I totally would have purchased the game already if I could have gotten a new 30 series card or one of the new AMD offerings, but both companies are just impossible to keep their stuff in stock without scalpers taking all of it. It's a stupid, really, really annoying situation, and I hate it. Anyway, expansion coming up from ShoWTimE, but let me know your thoughts on Cyberpunk if you're playing it. I've seen some people say that their video cards can't handle it, which bums me out, obviously. Some people have told me there's too much talking. Like they load it up to the game for the first time, and it's just like a bunch of conversations, and it's like, yeah, that's not great. Like I think back to The Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red's previous title, and it's a little bit of conversation, but then you're fighting a cockatrice like immediately thereafter. It like really introduces you to combat real fast, and it's very fun. So I don't know what they were thinking with the Cyberpunk and just talking your ear off, but maybe that person's experience was not accurately reflected in the conversation. Who knows? I certainly don't. Alright, so a couple lings out here. Serral. Just running around, maybe checking for proxies a little bit, but ShoWTimE, you know, no such concern. One thing I do want to mention about the previous game, Stargate opening by the way, is that he went for the Adept Printer Go Burr build, but then when he saw it wasn't going to work, he just pulled everything back. He didn't suicide his Adepts into a bad situation, so he had the Adepts later on for the attacks when they meant something. And I think without those Adepts, he doesn't win that game. So smart play from ShoWTimE. It's just really nice to be able to go for a super aggressive build, not quite have it work out and then just win the game anyway. Void Ray opening. So something we've seen stats do quite a bit as well is just Void Ray opening, get rid of the scouting overlords, maybe go harass the third base a little bit, force Serral to respond with queens over there, and then the Void Rays can just be on overlord hunting parties for the rest of the game generally. Or they could factor into your composition, depending on what you're into. So let's see if he makes 2 Void Rays. That's usually what it's been, or like a Void Ray Oracle Void Ray kind of a thing. Yeah, so there's your Oracle. Overlord dies, recognizes the Stargate opening, sees the Void Ray, says, whatever, it's fine. Really not worried about a single Void Ray. And honestly, not even mass Void Rays. Serral is, well, he's a good Zerg player. And good Zerg players don't struggle with Void Rays. Hydralisks, Parasitic Bomb, all these things are so good against the Void Rays. Fungal can be amazing too, slowing them down from their zippity speed that they have. Even without the Flux Veins upgrade, they're very zippy. Look how fast this is. So much faster than it used to be. So you can be aggressive with it. You can run away when things go poorly for you. So interesting. Stargate not making a second Void Ray at all. Where's the Oracle at? He didn't cancel that Oracle, did he? Oh, he did cancel the Oracle. Oh, how strange. I had an Oracle name ready to go and everything. Alright, well, Resonating Glaives again. Is there a robotics facility? No. Set up for a third base here at 4.5 minutes. Love that timing from him. And Serral pretty happy that he doesn't have to deal with any kind of harass at all. Look how long it takes a Void Ray to kill a Zergling. It's like 5 seconds of continuous attacking. It's just not good against Lings, that's for sure. Ooh, zippy zone of speed there. Yeah, so Resonating Glaives, a Roach Warren again here from Serral. So a bit of deja vu from game number 1, although the Void Ray is new, so we know it's not the same game. Also, it's a different map, and also lots of many things are different. So it's a lot of adepts to not have a Warp Prism, man. Where is it? ShoWTimE, friend, countryman, lend me your ears. Is he just making it seem... I don't know, he's trying to hide it, I guess. Alright. So, I mean, this is not... I'm going to reinforce adepts until I win the game. That's not that style of play, because he's got a third base and he doesn't have a Warp Prism. So he's just going to go for it. And there are 6 roaches in production. There's a bunch of queens and lings out already. Nice wall, by the way. Oh my gosh, he finished the transfer. So he gets through the wall. Basically, not enough adepts here to really take down these roaches. Yeah, I mean, it's a see what damage we can get done kind of a scenario here. Not really a win the game scenario, but 10 drones killed is not bad. I'm not going to complain about that one. Oh, I think he should have finished the transfer. He could have got some drones over there. There's no drones here. Well, now there are. Look at Serral. He's bringing them back in a very dangerous position. But he knows they can go back to work and none of them will die. That was pretty good. Meanwhile, adepts on the other side do get a couple more drones, but the roaches shove them away too. See, so this is a situation where you got 13 drones, but you lost 16 adepts. So your army value is down to 18 right now. It did kind of buy you some time to get your third base up, but it's a little bit more vulnerable now than it was in game number 1, because you don't have those adepts to defend it. So ShoWTimE in a bit of a more tenuous position, I would say. I would give you that answer for sure. Void Ray with all of 3 kills, very proud of himself. Lings, don't let him in. Oh, he warped in, but it was too late. He warped it in a position where the Lings could still get through. Lings are inside the house. This is not game winny by any stretch, but man, you're going to lose a couple probes. You get full scout. Just a full scout on everything that's happening here. And, I mean, that's pretty good from ShoWTimE, actually. To only lose 2 probes to, like, 10 lings that got inside your natural and your main. Acceptable outcome. Look who's making a Spire. What the heck, Serral? It's gotta be Corruptors, doesn't it? It's a Stargate opening. You know he has Stargate. I guess Mutalisks could be pretty good here, too. Mutas are good against Protoss if they don't know they're coming. If they know they're coming, then they just make, like, 5 Phoenix and game is over for the Mutas. But if you can show up with Mutas and all they really have to deal with... Oh, there's a scout. Hang on, did you scout the Spire with that scout? No. Now does. Okay, so the Spire gets scouted. 8 Mutas on the way. We start making Phoenix. We absolutely start chrono boosting Phoenix right now. So ShoWTimE knows what's up. He's going to have to deal with Mutalisks at some point. Having the Phoenix is going to make that so much easier. The ground army is pretty well taken care of, I think. Roachling sucks against Immortal Sentry. Like, so bad against Immortal Sentry. Like, the Immortals are going to show up, and the Roaches are like, no, peace. We're out. Thanks for inviting us to your party, but no. Another Phoenix is going to pop out here. The Mutas are close. Cruising in, but man, 2 Phoenix? Look at this. Ready to go. Ooh, careful with your micro there, though. Ooh, a nice little shield overcharge is pretty good. The Roaches all died to the ground army, as was foretold. Oh, Muta's taken down a Phoenix. ShoWTimE a little bit careless there. That's not what you want. Losing your second Phoenix is really bad, actually. Because having 3 Phoenix here is so much better than having 2 Phoenix. Oh, he's going to lose another one. Okay, this Muta control is kind of bananas from Serral all of a sudden. Finally, some Stalkers warp in to talk some sense into these Mutalisks and get them out of there, but that was, I don't know, some fairly cost-efficient Muta stuff. A couple probes died, a couple Phoenix died, a Void Ray went down. Overall, fairly effective Mutalisk play, as we like to see from Serral. Is he committing to, I mean, he's got a bunch. He's got 14 Mutas, man. He's lost one of them, which again is just the care that Serral shows his mutas is not something that's seen by many other Zerg players. Bottom right-hand corner for Serral coming in, or ShoWTimE rather, coming in top left for Serral is done. He doesn't have a hive yet, but he is working on a Hydralisk den. I do like Hydras in this situation, where your splash damage is Archons. Hydra's not bad. And then just picking up probes here and there. Kind of getting stuck over this beautiful water, though. This makes me want to go on vacation somewhere. Yeah, I don't know about Roach, Ravager, Bane here, Serral, but I like the high ground position a little bit. Could be worse. Nice dodge on that Corrosive Vial. God, the mutas. Just doing work. Don't mind us. We're going to force a cancel on your 4th base. Oh, just kills the 4th base entirely while it was under construction. That hurts. Army supply 98 to 81. Income is definitely favoring Serral at this point, as ShoWTimE's on 3 bases at 10 minutes, not where he wants to be. 13 drones have been killed. Resources lost is pretty much even. ShoWTimE's actually lost more resources than Serral has. He's only lost 3 mutas. I'm telling you, this guy with the Mutalisks, one of the best in the world with them, just taking care of them, right? Like Rogue's really good with mutas, but he'll lose 50 of them in the game, but win the game anyway. That's the trick of how Rogue uses Mutalisk. Alright, so ShoWTimE says, enough of this. Your Mutalisks are annoying. Let's get up here. Let's clear some creep tumors. Let's kill a couple Overlords. You know the drill. We got +1 attack on everybody on the ground here. But man, Hydra, Roach, Ravager, Baneling is a little intimidating. Serral is maxed out. Oh, the Warp Prism gets shut down by the mutas that aren't dead, because again, Serral takes care of his Mutalisk buddies. How he does. A hush falls over the crowd. The mutas are back, and there's nobody here! 4 more probes go down. Stalker's getting killed. The Phoenix show up. The mutas have to cheese it, because it's the cops. Or maybe you just stay here and all die. That's fine, too. I'm going to kill 8 probes while this is happening. Run! Oh my gosh, there's no force fields. But you're off creep. The Banelings are chasing. They're in pursuit. That's a nightmare everybody's had at least once. Ling's trying to show. Oh, is there enough? Is there enough to... There's enough to get the Nexus. Goodbye, Nexus, for the 2nd time. Serral, very everywhere right now as a Zerg player. Did he lose all his mutas, though? Yeah, he lost every one of his Mutalisks. Serral, you're in a bit of a timeout on the people I trust with Mutalisks list. I come in with these Banelings, but again, exploding on Archons is not what these Banelings want to do, but there's really a lot of just big-ticket items here. It's Archons and it's Immortals, that's Roaches that are dying as well, but Banelings just providing some of that splash damage, getting on top of the Zealots before they can accomplish anything. The Immortals finally go down, and good game! Wow! Serral takes game number 2 of our sneaky 3-fer. And we're tied up going into game number 3 here. I think that just came down to ShoWTimE knew he was a 3-basing Protoss. His army was largely getting wiped out. I mean, especially once the Immortals were gone. His production tab is empty. It's a really unconventional army. The Hydra's on the right. Oh, Hydra's on both sides. Doing super well there. Okay, that was... The Hydra's providing a lot of important DPS to the Immortals. The Archons, everything that was in here, and against the Phoenix too a little bit, although getting lifted is bad. Yeah, so what are we looking at state-wise? ShoWTimE's on 3 bases. He cannot afford to make a 4th base, which is a huge problem, and Serral's just pretty happily sitting on 5. So that is a downhill run for Serral and an uphill climb for ShoWTimE. Resources lost, 17,000 for ShoWTimE and 15 for Serral. That is pretty darn cost-efficient win for the Zerg player today. He ends up killing 5 Immortals and 7 Archons, which is a lot. 2 Nexuses. 20 probes is a good kill number. Serral did end up losing 13 drones himself, but no hatcheries down, which is a huge deal. And the mutas really just kind of kept ShoWTimE at home for the most part for a long time. And that's kind of, again, if you don't open StarCraft, mutas can really wreck your day. So moving into game number 3 of our sneaky 3-fer, which is, I guess, officially a best of 3 now because someone's got to win the next game, right? So let's see what's up with that. Don't go anywhere. Game number 3. The important game number 3 of this best of 3 is going to be on Romanticide, the Ladder Edition. Bottom right-hand corner, Serral. Top left-hand corner, ShoWTimE. I would characterize both of those wins as scrappy. Nobody had a very scary army. Maybe ShoWTimE in game number 1 did. But, by the time he won, it was not very scary. So, I don't know. This is just a scrappy little series from Asus Rogue. Anyway, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Someone the other day was like, how come this channel doesn't have more subscribers? This guy sounds like he knows what he's doing. And it's like, yeah, I've been casting StarCraft 2 for 5 years, pretty much every day. So it's a lot of StarCraft. And yeah, it would be nice to have more subscribers out here on this StarCraft 2 only channel. I gotta say, that is one of the more eye-opening moments in my casting career is when I kind of looked at, when I started my StarCraft 2 channel and got maybe 2,000 subs, and I was like, I thought more people were watching my 50,000 sub channel for StarCraft 2. But no, I went back and looked, and I started casting Brood War about 4 years ago. So over half of my casting career, I've been having Brood War on the channel, and apparently a lot of the subs are here for the Brood War. And they were just ignoring the StarCraft 2 entirely. That's a thought for sure, man. That is something I have to consider, that maybe, I don't know, people don't like my StarCraft 2 casting as much as I like my Brood War casting. The StarCraft 2 market is just more saturated, and more so today, because again, Hearthstone has a fairly new channel that's doing very well. And yeah, maybe there's just not market for Falcon to do StarCraft 2 stuff, but I can't give it up, is the trick here. I love StarCraft 2. I love Brood War. I consider they're my children, man. I can't choose which child I like the most. It's impossible. I mean, obviously there are times I like one more than I like the other one, but just abandoning one of my children, abandoning one of my StarCrafts is just never going to happen. You can take that to the bank. ShoWTimE, I'm gonna say a Stargate, Stargate. As far away from the scouting overlord as it can possibly get, but still be in the main base of ShoWTimE. Actually, maybe here would be further, but So what's Serral up to in this game number 3? He had pretty good success with a really, really weird strategy of Roach, Hydra, Ravager, Baneling Ling. Really gas-heavy stuff, man. Anywho, third base coming in at about 2:30. Serral feeling on top of his game. ShoWTimE on top of his game. A Ling gets inside the house. Are you kidding right now? I mean, the good news is the Adapter will kill it, but like, ooh, did it scout the Stargate? No, it didn't scout the Stargate, and Phoenix production has begun. Little mass Phoenix opening can really screw up Zerg players if they don't see it coming. Of course, if you're going a lot of Phoenix, then what I've seen Zerg players do is just make a ton of roaches come across and kill you. Because, yes, the Phoenix may have killed all of your drones, but if all you have are Phoenix, they can't stop the roaches from killing all of your buildings before the game is over. It's a problem. So, Phoenix, Oracle, Overlord. Okay, so now we know it's a Stargate because that's a real Phoenix. We're actually getting an Oracle today. I have an Oracle I'm ready to go. It's been ready since game 1. Apparently, it's not being Chrono Boost. So, be here in a minute, okay? Alright, so what further tech do we have here today? Oracle's name is Pam Halpert. She went from receptionist to saleswoman to mother to wife to Oracle. That is an interesting life, to be sure. So Oracle gets scouted, and there's 2 queens in the natural, and there's a queen and a spore at the main base, and the third base doesn't have anything, well, I guess, be a decent target. Maybe, never mind, there's a spore coming up. Cool. Ling's poking around the front, trying to see if there's anything they can do. An easy, quick third base they can kill, but ShoWTimE is not being greedy. He's not taking a third base until he can adequately defend it. Which, you know, everyone should probably do. Anyway, so double Oracle Phoenix here. Pam Halpert, and Friend, and Phoenix in the mix. Robotics facility coming in here from ShoWTimE. Third base coming up because it can be defended by these Adepts now, which is great. And here we go. So if you don't have 2 queens and a spore at a base where this shows up, you're in trouble. So 1 queen and a spore, not really enough. That's why this queen is picking it up here as fast as she can. Basically, you lift the queen, you burn down a few of the drones, and you get out of there. I don't know, 4 drones for the investment, not really worth Zerglings, nope. Scouting is their third base. There certainly is. Let's go ahead and take a fourth. Maybe here based on the creep spread patterns. Maybe here based on the creep spread patterns. Take your pick. Three oracles. All right. That's a little bit dicier now. But guess who's just got a lot of queens out? Because obviously you should have a lot of queens out. It's 6 queens out. And assuming they're placed well enough, which they are, another spore, because he recognizes the threat this is. But the spore's a little bit too late, and the oracles are coming in. Lifting that queen, but another queen still hitting, and the oracles get... That's 5 drone kills. That is some sick micro out of ShoWTimE. That was really nice. That was way better than I expected it to be, with an extra queen on the ground firing away and a spore hitting you. Second spore is here, but again, too late. The Phoenix didn't die, did it? No. It's over here. It took a different escape route, I suppose. Okay, just going to Warp Prism in a couple of depths. That's fine. Nothing too crazy here. I mean, alright, so the Lings are responding to that pretty effectively. Hallucinated Phoenix gets killed, and alright, ShoWTimE's doing some cute stuff here. It's fine. 9 drones killed, no Protoss units have died yet, which again is pretty nice for future engagements. Hydralisks on the way from Serral. Going to be good against everything we're seeing here, at least until the storm comes out, which that Temple Archives is definitely working on. Yeah, just Revelation, couple drones here and there, trying to pick off a queen. Oh, that Oracle is so low on HP. You know, 2 kills there. 10 kills there. Man, that's the kill stealer. This one right here is our kill stealing Oracle. Oh, hang on. Boom! Oracle down. No, friend! 4th base from Serral coming up now. ShoWTimE's third has been going on for some time, however. The Immortals can't get out because, again, doors are a big deal when it comes to Protoss. Doors are a difficult situation. ShoWTimE taking in his own 4th Lings. No. Oh, nice force fields. Getting a few extra Lings there. What is killing drones? It's got to be the Oracles. I think they probably died jumping in there would be my guess. For a few more drone kills, and this is adding up. We're at 15 drones killed in the first 7 minutes, which is pretty good. It is, I mean, it's 83 workers for Serral, so he can't be hurting that badly. He's replaced his losses pretty effectively. Creep spread, nice, connecting all his bases. Again, that's the priority. 5th base for him, about the 2 o'clock position on the map. And Storm is, we told you, is being Chrono Boost. It's on the way. So Storm against Hydra Ling Bane is actually sick. It can be very, very good. Hydra damage is just... It's just too much for hallucinated units, especially. Infestation Pit on the way from Serral. So a little bit more of a laid-back game 3 here. A little bit casual, I'm going to call it. Although Serral's ramping up. 26 Lings in production. 25 Banelings coming in right now. This is not all of them. Where are the rest of the Banelings? Somewhere. Ah, Banelings exploding on the rocks is not what you want. Hydras, though, yes. Ooh, good storm on those Banelings. That's a lot of canceled Banes right there. That's nice. Serral at 180 supply in 9 minutes is really thinking about trying to make this thing happen right now. It's coming in. Nice force fields. Force fields and Storm, your 2 best friends when it comes to a Baneling attack if you're Protoss. Zealot attack gets thwarted, coming down the bottom side by some Lings and some Hydras. Serral's kept some boys at home. And girls, I guess. I don't know. Hydras or what? Yeah, Banelings getting on. Oh, top of those high Templar. That was not great. Shield battery focused by the Banelings, too. Oh, nice little stasis catching a few of the Lings and Banelings in the mix as well. This is a lot of Zerg, though, man. I don't know if ShoWTimE can afford to lose this base. Oh, Baneling's catching a huge group of Zealots, but more charge lots warping in. Phoenix gets killed because it was lifting Hydralisks. Reinforcements coming in from the Zerg player. He's got missile attack level 1 finishing. Ground level 2 is going to finish here for ShoWTimE momentarily, though. Serral feels like he's got this thing, man. He is... Wow, but the Zealots coming in. Charge lots, good answer to these Hydras, man. That was nice. That was a really, really tight, really dicey hold for ShoWTimE, but he pulled it off because he's a boss. Stasis catching something. Something made a stasis-y noise. No? Did you hear that? Maybe I'm hallucinating things. Auditory hallucinations. Serral coming in again. 156 total supply. Resources lost 10,000 and 9,600. Serral has lost more, obviously, here. Good storms. This creep, though, these, like, 5 tumors right here are mean. Good storm, though. Really good storm. Dude, this creep pushing in like this, like, if this is ShoWTimE right now. He has no idea where that army is. He just catches glimpses. And the creep is pushing into his base. That's not good. Look how scary this is. ShoWTimE's just like completely defensive. Ah! They're coming out of the darkness! Banelings, Hydralisks on everything. Storm the things. Use the Archons. You bring Zealots over. Push them back. Push them back. Way back. Alright, enough of that. That was fun. Serral coming out of the darkness. Another dead. 2 Archons there. Ooh, this Zealot attack is pretty good, though. Alright. So Queen down. But the drone's going to die here, too. Some Lings responding to this, actually sacrificing their lives so the drones don't have to die. That's what the Lings are here for, absolutely. Oh, Baneling hits really softens up those Zealots, and then they are so much easier to deal with for these Lings. Fleet Beacon on the way from ShoWTimE. Interesting. And another Stargate. Is he going carrier? He's like, oh, I'm on 4 bases. I have a lot of gas. By that, I mean he has 200 gas in the bank. A lot of gas income, though, here on these 4 bases. Has not lost a base yet today. Really surprised he hasn't pushed on these creep tumors a little bit. He can't let these ones finish. That's horrible. Lings, Hydras, Banelings jumping on these Archons. But the High Templars show up, and Serral says, just pull back a little bit here. ShoWTimE taking a 5th base, bottom left-ish. This group of Zealots is here for reasons unknown. It is carriers, man. We've seen a lot of Skytoss versus Zerg recently, and a bit of a better win percentage for it than it has been in years past. Greater Spire coming in from Serral. He's like, I can't break this without Broodlords, I guess. Shield Battery, good unit. Archons, Immortals, Storm, good unit. Breaking bases is not an easy thing to do for a Zerg player against Protoss, but I don't know. Serral should be okay with this. Zealot says, giant scary Zerg army coming this way, huh? These guys, I don't know, could maybe jump on this. It is really forcing ShoWTimE to split his attention, and he's doing it wonderfully. Serral poking center, left, top, almost simultaneously here, and ShoWTimE just knows exactly what's going on. The map awareness is really something to behold here. It's excellent. Pathogen glands, adrenal glands coming in. Dude, that carrier, though, dead. This is the problem when you only have a couple carriers, is suddenly Hydras are way better against carriers than if there's like 10. Even if the costs are equivalent, it's just like 10 carriers will slaughter infinite Hydralisks. I don't know what it is. Solid attack, full drone retreat, where the Lings are charging in. The Queens die, but the Lings and the Hydras and the Banelings are enough to clear this out. So far drone deaths are 16. It's not bad since the early assault. I think he lost like 13 in the first 7 minutes, so just a couple down. No probes died today. No probes have died today. Nicely done. So ShoWTimE is on a pretty scary position. He's on 5 bases. He's got +3 attack for his ground units, +1 attack for his air. Broodlords are under construction right now. Zealots getting intercepted down here to the south. Very nicely done. Just both these players are really on top of their game in this match. Just as far as attention to detail and where their enemy is. Nobody's lost a base yet, and that's partially because they're not getting caught by a surprise. Like, ShoWTimE's doing a good job of knowing that there's an attack coming from the north or from the south. Now that he's trying to keep the pressure on Serral, the threat of a counterattack is a little bit stronger. Man, I don't know why these zealots keep trying this. They're all dead. Over here, though, the Storm doing some stuff. Brood Lords throwing down damn Broodlings, but getting focused down by the carriers. Transfuse can't quite keep them entirely alive, it turns out. But there are still a few more Brood Lords here. Another one goes down. Another one goes down. Another one bites the dust. Corruptors in the mix trying to do something against these carriers. Hydras from the left side. No, says the Storm. All the Brood Lords are dead. Corruptors, one at a time, are coming in. No, that's not enough. And ShoWTimE takes it. Ends up winning our sneaky 3 for best of 3 2 games to 1. Serral down 100 supply. Yeah, that's fair, man. At the end of the game, he had 6 Hydras and 18 Lings. That was it. All his Broodlords were dead. All his Corruptors were dead. And sure, he had a good economy, and sure, he hadn't lost too many drones in the game. But when there's a Protoss army in your front door and you don't have anything, well, that's when you tap out. 5 Corruptors was not going to be enough against this army, especially with the 7 Archons on the ground. Additional High Templar ready to storm all the time. Resources lost 30,000 to 22,000. And again, it's just ShoWTimE doing scrappy stuff. He doesn't show up with a ginormous army, right? It wasn't a max, well, it was kind of a maxed army, but just 83 probes, right? So army value just 109 supply. Just, it was weird, right? 2 carriers. Oh, hang on. Boop. 3 carriers, 7 Archons, 3 Immortals, 13 Zealots, 2 High Templar, a Stalker. Like, this is not any composition you're ever going to see. But by golly, it worked somehow. And just weird attack timings, too. Crazy stuff, man. That's how you beat somebody like Serral. Is maybe you show him some stuff he hasn't seen before. He's not quite prepared for. I don't think he was ready for the carriers. No, he knew about them, though. He didn't make Corruptors until it was too late, but the Archon count on the ground is enough to where you can't really jump on the carriers without taking +3 Archon splash right to your face, Corruptor friends. Yeah, weird composition, but by Jove, it worked exceptionally well. All these Broodlords died. All the Corruptors died. And ShoWTimE takes 2 games off of fan favorite Serral here today. I mean, I know a lot of people like really like watching Serral lose, so happy Monday to you guys. And if you like watching Serral win, there's always game 2 for you. Huh. That was an interesting series, I feel like. Anyway, I don't know what Serral did wrong. I mean, I guess the problem is he couldn't break this, right? The shield batteries, the Archons, the Immortals, the Storm, this wasn't a breakable base. But he kept trying to get into a heavily defended area. You know, like, swinging up here was going to be difficult. I guess the lines, maybe a Nidus would have been cool. Maybe Lurkers would have been fairly good, but the Immortal count was not bad at the time. There's still a pretty good Immortal count back here. 20, 33, 21, and 15 kills on these guys. Not bad, friends. Yeah, it's just weird compositions and mixtures of everything. It's what Maru does. It's what ShoWTimE does. And it will get you wins in weird places. Huh. All right, cool. Well, that right there is going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw, what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.